Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host Shae Zombie, and I am super stoked because not only do we have the awesome Doc Hog back, how you doing, sir?
Nice to be back. Thanks for having me.
I also managed to snag his insanely talented colorist, Leanore. How are you doing, madam?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we are here once again to try another shot going over tilt. The last time it was a little bit rocky, a little bit of distraction. Your son did wonderfully for the amount of time that we made him sit very still and quiet.
I got him to sit still for about an hour this morning, and he was.
That's impressive.
He charmed the audience too.
Of course you did. And so
I had a few moments where I had to leave the screen because I had to go wipe a bum. But I mean, what can you say? Parenthood is so glamorous.
That's just called dad life. That's all that is. So we're here for tilt.
Sure.
And Doc, you have a new pitch that you wanted to give us.
Yeah.
And so let me just pop your screen up here and have at it, sir.
Absolutely. All righty. We are now at 88% funded. It would be wonderful if I could leave this show being right around 90% today, but any backers, we get it all. I am immensely appreciative for your business, and just to let you know, going to treat my customers very, very well because you deserve it. Alrighty. Tilt is superheroes meet the Sopranos, okay? And got about 18 days left on the campaign. This here is the main character, Jennifer Polar. She has the power to make the kings, queens, and jacks in a deck of cards come alive. And what you see here is the Queen of Hearts. If you look over at Shae, you actually see her dressed as the Queen of Hearts. My second cosplay person. She was actually the first to. You've got the King of Hearts here and the Jack of Hearts. Now, why does she have that power? Well, it's because these guys right here, the mobsters. This head mobster is Johnny Ricca. He may look a little bit like Tony Soprano to you, and that's not an accident. We kind of modeled him after Tony Soprano. You've got Jack Tessio here, his brother Marco Tessio here. They are two mob hitmen, and they are about to kill Jennifer's dad, Larry, which they do. After that, they're out to get Jennifer. And in the spirit realm, Larry, her dad, asks a spirit to give Jennifer a power to protect her. And the spirit agrees, but for a price. And Larry initially does not want to agree to that price, but finally he does. And the price is that she has to use that power to eliminate the mobsters who murdered her dad. And here is the first time she realizes she has that power. She uses it, she just has to toss a card to the ground. Here she's trying to toss them into the hat, and she misses. And the Queen of Hearts pops up. The card just flips up and expands. And Jennifer, passes out from the shock. This here is the first time that they're actually going after a mobster. I love what my artist here, Marcos Lima, did with the jack kind of halfway out of the card, and as you can guess, that's not water trailing behind the axe there. Okay, a couple things about this book. First of all, it's 32-page book. This is issue 1 of 3 of a 3-issue storyline. And we are now up to issue 22. That is 22 pages, I'm sorry, not issue 22, page 22. 22 pages are finished. That is, they are inked, colored, and lettered. And I probably by about this time next week, we will be up to 28 pages. The point here being is that I want to be able to send this to the printer right after the campaign ends so I can get it in the customer's hands as quickly as possible. I say August on the campaign. I think July is more likely, and with some luck, I'll even have it to you by June. So the model here is get it to the the customer as quickly as possible. All righty, here's a little bit of that nice non-approved body type. I love the job that Leanore did on the green color here. Really
Shiny butt cheeks.
I was gonna say I have a question for Leanore.
Leanore, you highlighted all the right areas.
She absolutely did. So this is what makes me laugh, because this is something that we constantly say is at least something that Doc says is plenty of unapproved body types within this. So as a female colorist, how much fun did you have making sure that all these women were like absolutely banging?
It was a blast. It was what made Lee, my significant other, would sit there and watch. He's like, "You've spent 20 minutes coloring that ass. Well, I think it's shaded enough. Maybe move on." And these are the things that I have to get reminded. Like, don't spend all day on the fun stuff. Move it along.
You just ignore him, Leanore, and you do your job.
You go, look, it's a silky dress, okay? And the way that light diffuses off a dad ass, it takes a minute. So I'm just gonna need you to be okay with it.
I gotta get it right. I need you to step back. Get out of my space.
No, this is so great. And that was when I first talked to Doc, and he was like, yeah, like I was playing through the video and I didn't have audio working, and all of a sudden I just see you pop up, and I was like, what's Leanore doing on this project? And he was like, yeah, my colorist Leanore. And I went, what the hell? I was like, damn, that was a good selling point. Like, you got this girl coloring these girls.
She's been wonderful with the project, just really giving it her full support, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to color the color tilt. So it's worked out way better than I expected. So thank you, my dear. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I definitely agree. Also, this is Steve. Steve is my buddy that I actually know IRL, and I'm not even going to pretend that we have things to talk about tomorrow, Steve, because that's exactly what I would expect you to have said. It's 20 minutes coloring the ass, nothing wrong there. All right, I'm sorry. I had to derail this because
all righty. I think we are. Let me talk about some of the perks here. This is the standard cover. This here is the variant cover, a house of cards with the various characters on them. This is the pinup, which is actually behind Shae there. She actually put it up. I was like, oh my God. It took me a while to get it, you know. Like I said, I'm just on fire today, let me tell you. At any rate, I love this was drawn and colored by Leanore, and I love what she did here because the genre that this comic book is in is kind of action drama, mobsters, and she went more in a horror direction, which I like. And let's see, this is the this is the pinup. This is one perk that's available. The other is an actual deck of cards, a 54 card poker deck, and this is what you will see on the back of the deck of cards. This was colored by Leanore, drawn by my artist Marcos Lima. And let's see, go to a couple of the tiers. The first one is just the digital, the PDF. Some people, not too many people are buying digital, but a few do want it. So I give you that option. Most people seem to be like, Stan Lee, that comic books are like boobs, great to see on the screen, but better if you got them in your hand. But at any rate, some people do like to prefer them on the screen. So, at any rate, you can actually buy the digital and still get the pinup and the deck of cards. You do have that option because the deck of cards and the pinups are add-ons on this. Next up is the standard cover, which is $13, a physical copy. The digital copy does come with all physical copy options here. You can also get the variant cover, one copy of the comic variant cover. It's also $13, and then you can get 2 copies of the comic, the standard and the variant covers, for $20. Start dropping the price of the pinup and the deck of cards down the further up in the tiers you go. At this tier here, you can get the whole smash 2 comics, the digital, the pinup, and the deck of cards for a total of $30. And I think you're going to have a pretty hard time finding a better deal than that on Indiegogo, at least among comic book campaigns. Then there is the tiers where you can get yourself drawn into issue 2. There's only this one left now, and in this one, you actually get to be a mob bodyguard. You get to be the bodyguard of the head mobster, Johnny Ricca. You will appear in 2 pages. You'll actually get to kill some of the other characters before you suffer the gruesome death of having a dagger thrown into your eye. Yeah, this one is $300, was $400. I dropped the price 25%, and it is the very last one of those available. Let's see what else. Let me just tell you a little something here about the main character. Well, show a couple of these pages real quick. I know we're over my 5 minutes now.
Oh, but you're fine.
This here is the Queen of Hearts. We dressed in. This is her here. We dressed her in kind of traditional garb, but we decided to give the other 3 queens more superhero costumes. And I think if you look at it closely, it's, there's certainly something to be said for going against tradition at times. So Leanore did a wonderful job of coloring here, and so more of that non-approved body type. And then there's this this here is a scene where Jack and Marco Tessio are driving the boss, Johnny Ricca, and going into this scene, Jack thinks that he's going to become a made man. Here he is finding out that he has been passed over. He's very upset about it, and then that's going to have repercussions down the line. I really like the job that Leanore did with the coloring here. The windows are kind of dark because it's kind of a dark panel. I mean, they're just finding out that the guy that was killed by the Jack a few pages ago, his name was Carmine. They're finding out that Carmine is dead, and he's also finding out that Jack is finding out that he's been passed over. So it's very kind of a somber mood. And then when he gets out of the car, she lit it up, because it is daytime. She lit it up here, just really, really nice. And let's see, anything else? Yeah, let me just talk about the main character here and why I titled this thing Tilt. All right, Jennifer Poehler, her character arc is going to be an emotional one. That is, initially she can't imagine offing any mobster. The first time she does it, she throws up, pees in her pants. Over time, she's going to be getting off on the adrenaline rush associated with it. Her weaknesses are that she's somewhat impulsive and somewhat reckless, and those are bad weaknesses to have, whether you're scared to death or whether you're getting off on the adrenaline rush. So she's going to have to constantly struggle with those throughout this series. Now, the reason I called it Tilt is that in poker, there is a mental state known as tilt, and I actually define it here on the very first page. It's a mental state in poker during which emotion dictates your play instead of logic or reason. Usually it's when you're way ahead in a hand and someone catches a miracle card to beat you. You see a big pot that should have been yours going to this other person, and you get upset, angry, sad, and you start playing very badly and lose even more money. Well, that kind of made sense to call it Tilt because it is a comic book about cards, and it is a very emotional, her character arc is a very emotional one. And that combined with it's just a nice, succinct title. That's why I decided to title it Tilt. So, again, last thing is, if you do back this, I treat my customers very, very well. If you get, this comic and it's even slightly damaged in any way, I will replace it. The same with any of the other perks. And, I really appreciate people who back it. And I think that's pretty much about it.
That sounds rather succinct. So to reiterate for everybody, you are $32 away right now from hitting your 90% funded based on the math that I just did. I must have just gotten another backer if I'm only $32 away, because
yes. I'm 52 going, oh, holy crap. Well, I got to see. Hang on.
We're sitting at 2,668 USD and 88% of the $3,000 fixed goal.
Yeah, must have got someone to back at the sorry, I just get very excited.
No, it's good to see. So if it's
every single backer, thank you. I'm just checking it out here. I'm not going to reveal who it is. If you want to reveal yourself in the chat, fine. I'm not going to say who it is because I do not reveal my customers' information.
That is also greatly appreciated.
The only way anybody knows is if you say it on like Twitter or on the chat in here, and that's okay. Well, to that person, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
So, because you are $32 away, that is basically if one person decides that they want to get a PDF and somebody else decides that they want to back the both covers plus some trading cards, that puts you over it.
Not quite. That'll get me very close. What would do it would be getting the whole smash at the full house level, and then one person doing will put me then slightly over it. Doing the PDF would do it. But
that's what I was meaning. But yeah,
I'm still good, guys.
It is.
I'm $20 ahead from when I went on to this program. It's, when you're doing this, especially the first time, it's a grind. It's every little bit that you get. And I've been on some shows where all I've gotten out of it was one backer at $4. Works for me. That's $4 I didn't have before that show started. It's $4 closer to my goal. And
you
got to look at it. It's a grind, one little step at a time.
One of the biggest problems that you have right now is you're sitting at 18 days.
Mm-hmm.
This time frame right now, from after you hit that first 5 to 10 days up until you get to your last 5-ish days, this is the slowest part of your campaign. This is where the grind is. Because you have all of the excitement when you very first say, hey, we're launching this new comic. Here's all the cool stuff that we have. Here's all the amazing tiers that we have. I've got Leanore coloring. I've got, this person lettering, whoever. This is what my artist has done. Look at how amazing it is. You get a rush of people who back then.
Yeah.
And then it gets real slow, and other people start launching campaigns, and people get ADHD and start looking other places and forget about things. And then you go, hey, I got 5 days left before we were in danger of not funding. And everyone goes, shit, I knew I forgot something. And then everybody runs back over to try and fund to get you past that last little bit. Not to mention.
Well, that's interesting because it was getting to the first 1,000 wasn't too bad. It was getting to 2,000 that took much, much longer. And I had a lot of periods in their days where I didn't get a single backer.
Yep. And
they just started coming in bunches. I'd go 4 days of no backers, and then boom, go on one show, and right after that get 4 or 5 backers. So
exactly, and that's
very up and down roller coaster.
That is absolutely what ends up happening here, and it's really funny because Tilt is the perfect name for this, simply because what ends up happening with all of these people is people get super caught up when it's, hey, you're $32 away from hitting 90% funded. That's it, just 32, and people go, well, shit, I can just not eat out, and I can go back something for $32. That's not a problem, because everybody wants to be that person that pushes you over the edge, because it's another adrenaline rush, just like it is when you gamble, just like it is with all of everything going on in Tilt is an adrenaline rush.
Well, my longest period, I started of no backers. I started getting very, very grouchy because it's that little dopamine hit, every time it's like, and I haven't had one for 5 days. My life is
and I mean, it's got to be, and Leanore, I'm. Is this the first project that you've worked on, color wise, for a full project, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I feel like you probably are feeling this about as much as Doc is that you start to wonder, is what I'm producing good enough? Is this actually something that people want, or is it not? When you don't get the backers as quickly, does it start to hit you?
I don't know if it's because it's not technically my baby. I didn't write it. I didn't come up with the concept, but I love it so much. Like even if I wasn't the colorist, I'd probably be talking about it just as much because it seems unique. It feels interesting. Since I've seen the pages in the script, I know it's well drawn. I know it's a quality project. So I personally know it's good enough for people to enjoy. I just hope that they realize it themselves.
Yeah, that they get to it before.
I'm just like, don't sleep on this one, guys. It's a good one. It really is.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it just seems like a really fun concept besides the main character is a buxom redhead. So I mean, I got to get in on that, being a gigantic redhead with a green dress and a biker jacket. That's absolutely what I wore the last time we did this.
We are probably at 89% now. I just got another backer. It should show up here in a second.
Oh, we are 19.
Yeah, we are at 89% now. I just heard my email ring, so I'm like on my phone. So
you got two more backers according to my thing, because you were at 89. You're at 91 now.
Oh shit! It happened right that second because I just refreshed.
Oh, glad someone just.
That's awesome.
So we are sitting at $19.
Going on my
$19. Someone go get Full House. Come on now. Woo. Be the one that pushes it over to 90 like that. Come on, you know you want to. Horrible for whoever is like, I don't know if I can pay bills today, but you know what? $20.
Fuck it.
Right? Okay, so
for the person who gets it over 90%, I will give you, if you don't do a pinup as an add-on, I will send you a free pinup. Okay, and Leanore is going to sign the pinups. I'll sign the comics. So we'll.
Why you got to do that to me? You're trying to make me back again. I was like,
hey, I didn't reveal your information, but who knows, Shae? Since you've been so nice, maybe you'll get one. I mean, you put it up as your background now, so I'm kind of have to almost.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You're twisted.
But, well,
I know, right?
No, you weren't going to say anything. You were going to be your subtle feminine self, which is exactly what you did.
I don't know if I'm offended or not. Okay, so I wanted to talk to Leanore about, and did you do the colors for the main cover as well, Leanore?
No, I did not.
So you did the colors for all of the interior.
Yes, I am doing the colors for all of the interiors. I've got, I think, 4 pages left to do. Super close to being done coloring it, and then once Doc approves it all, then it's lettered and good to go. So we're really, really close. And I did the back of the playing cards for the color, and I did the pinup. I drew and colored the pinup.
Okay, so this right here.
Fresh on the Tilt website, ladies.
Did you do it? Am I about to be really happy? Yes! Woohoo!
2707.
I won't say who it is again, but you will be getting that person bought the comics and the cards, so I will make a note and you'll get a free pinup.
Yay! Oh my gosh!
Thank
Okay.
You. That is awesome.
We have the best viewers on Red Valkyrie. I swear, you guys are amazing. I'm so happy that we got you to 90.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. It's already a success. We're only 23 minutes in. It's already a success. I don't even know what do we even do at this point. I mean, good hell.
I don't know. I wish I had a bottle of champagne, but
pop the cork.
You gotta save that for when you fund, then you pop the cork.
Hey, you really need you don't need that much of an excuse to pop the cork. I'll do it now. Do it when I fun. Why not twice?
Just like I'm just gonna have a bunch of champagne and we're just gonna keep doing that. It'll be fun. Okay, so
maybe
I wanted
on here with you if I'm close to 3,000. We'll do the getting it over 3,000 party on your stream.
Right, we get the funding, like funding party.
As subtle as I get, which is about as subtle as getting a 2x4 in the face.
So I wanted to ask Leanore, since she is your colorist, what has been the most fun for you about coloring this, and what has been the most challenging about coloring this?
The most fun is, well, obviously the just plethora of beautiful female characters that he has been ever so gracious as to put in this book for me to color. There's lots of blood and explosions and like brightly lit, fun, dynamic scenes. And there's a lot of stuff that takes place like inside where it's just basic indoor lighting. But in the moments where it's like outside and things are glowing or lighting up and doing like really cool things, like those have been really fun for me to come at from a particular way. And like this page, this one was really fun because it isn't, I mean, this is like the afterlife, right? This is some weird heavenly plane where shit's gonna be weird. And I didn't see it as like a happy welcome to heaven moment. I saw it as a dude, you just died.
Yeah.
Bad moment.
That's how I envisioned it. I thought heaven, you know, kind of white, glowing, a little bit of gold trim. I get it back from her and I'm looking at it and at first I'm like, wait, that's not how. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, that works so much better because it's such a dark, you know, you're about to give somebody in the material plane the power to go out and kill people. All right. So that part of the spirit realm is not going to be happy, glowing, you're in heaven. Okay. It's going to be dark, kind of violet. And then she also colored the spirit there, his garb. She did a lot of it in blood red. There was some gold. And I looked at the blood red and I said, oh, please go blood red, take out the gold and put in the blood red. This was just, it was when we did this page, I'm like, I hired the right colorist. Because, you know, that's the thing about creating a comic book is you got to let give your artists free reign. And, you know, they're going to have different ideas than you do. And, you know, you're as the script writer, you're the screenwriter, the colorists, the artists, the illustrators, they are the directors. Mike Barron said that once, and I initially was like, because I have a little bit of an anal personality, and I was like, nah, that can't be right. And as I thought about it more, I'm like, yeah, that is right. And Leanore will attest to this. I give my panels, I type out a lot of detail in my panels.
Yes.
Because I can see panels in my head. But I think I told you at the beginning, you know, you bring your vision to this. Don't worry about what I've written. And I especially told that to Marcos Lima, my illustrator. You know, you can use it as a guide if you want, but if you come up with, and Marcos came up with a lot of different ideas, and I think I used all but one of them. You know, it's just, I knew I'd hired the right colorist when I got this page because I'm like, yeah, this is the exact opposite of what I thought the page would look like. And it's 10 times better than what I had in mind. And I'm like, yeah, this just knocks it out of the park. So
right.
Well, I was trying to think of things from multiple angles. I wasn't just looking at the page. I was reading, like you gave me the script. So I was reading the script. I was looking at the page before and after and thinking of the whole context of every page. So I would color it with like basic colors and then think about what's the tone here? What's the mood? What's the feeling? And then I'd go complete color nerd on it. So that's why everything's so oddly dynamic, even when it probably shouldn't be. I just went a little crazy.
Well, and that's something that I was going to point out is because it's the spirit realm, and you've seen it in a plethora. Like spirit realms have been golden and white. They've been blue. They've been green. They've been purple. They've been red. They've been any color of the rainbow. You can make it, but it all depends on what's going on.
Yes.
And with this being a blue, it gives you this idea of like, it's not exactly bad, but the fact that it's not great. No, like it could be better for sure. It's not golden and like sunshine. And then when you start going down these panels and you get to that center panel where he says, I will protect her for a price. That, with him being blood red, which is just a real unsettling, like sometimes red is royal and sometimes red is not great. Depending on how you're going to look at it from a storytelling perspective, you have a blood red with a deep blue and this brilliant blue light. And it's like, yeah, I'll protect her for a price. And it's like, you're straight up extorting the dude. It's like, he just died. Like, really?
I am dead. What more do you want from me? Jeez.
Right? It's like, I'm dead now, man. And he's like, yeah, there's worse things than death. And
but wait, there's more.
Exactly.
You might
and
want
the way
to
that you chose
page again.
I was gonna say the way that you chose the colors really sets that tone where you're like, I don't know how bad this price is gonna be, but I don't feel like it's gonna be very good, and I think it's gonna turn my stomach, but at the same time, like, protecting the girls, so maybe worth it. But it gives you that kind of like unsettled feeling, and I think it does it really, really well.
Thank you. Mission accomplished.
Yes, absolutely.
I definitely didn't want to phone it in the first time somebody was like, we'll go ahead and take a gamble on you for something sequential. Let's do this. All right.
Show one of the more recent pages that you've colored here. I'll see if I can bring that up. But yeah, we'll show page 27. I like
page 27. We're getting real specific here with the pages.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Leanore's like, I don't remember page 27. Goes and checks and is like, oh, okay.
I was like, it's one of two, because I know it's not the one I just did, but it
is one of the ones you just did. So
is that
28? So
well, no, I'm not. The two splash pages we're not showing here. No, wait, no. We're gonna show page 26. Sorry, not 20.
Oh, okay, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
blood is fun.
Yeah.
You let me know when you're ready, because on my screen it just shows black.
Hang on here. Let me get out of this real quick.
See, this is why I like bringing creative teams on, because everybody's got a different aspect or a different thing that makes them really excited about this project. And I love being able to show, like, it's great having the writer and the creator on because it's their baby. But when you can say, okay, so this is my baby and this is something that I've created and I've nurtured. And then I hired this colorist, and now listen to the colorist gush about how much she loves my baby that isn't her baby, but she still loves it like it's her baby. She's adopted it now, and it's now her child too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it makes it that much more exciting. Ooh, what is happening? Oh gosh.
Okay. Couple of things here. This is the second hit against some mobsters. It's a group of 4, and the things have gone wrong because of Jennifer's kind of impulsiveness. Didn't plan it right, and the king. What you see here? Hang on. What you see here? I'll screen it up. This part here is the king. King of Hearts. He's just gotten shot, and when they get shot, they turn back into the card, and the card is broken. Now there is a way for Jennifer to eventually restore those cards, but she can't use them until they're restored, and that's going to come in issue 3. But so here is the Jack trying to get over to him, and he does, and then the other mobster is getting away, as you can see here, and the Jack has gotten his axe stuck in this guy, kind of like stuck in a piece of wood. So if you have wood and the axe gets stuck in the log, how do you get it out? Well, you know how you get it out, and that's basically what I have the Jack do here. He's like, screw it.
Oh, and my gosh.
Slams it down, and out it pops. And now the mobster's getting away. And I'll show the next page, too. This is page 27. He's getting away. And the Jack is here saying, pick up the cards of the king. We can restore him, but we have to get out of here. And Jennifer... Now, what she can do with the other cards, the ones that are not face cards, is she has to think of something related to those cards and then toss them. Now, if you play poker, you know a pair of aces are known as pocket rockets. So what she's doing here is she's saying, all right, but let's see what we can do with these pocket rockets. She throws them at the Jack. They turn into rocket launchers, and the Jack here he's Mr. Testosterone, and he's like, oh, yeah. And then the next page is a splash page, but if you want to see that one, you're going to have to back the comic. And if anyone just buys the PDF version, we're going to be at 91%. So
wow.
You guys,
we are at 91%. 2731 93 backers. We are at 91%.
My goodness, your audience rocking it. Oh,
I am loving this. You guys are bringing it, and I really appreciate that. This looks hilariously brutal.
The only night I've had on a stream better than this was Cecil's, and that's Cecil.
And that's Cecil. I mean, Cecil hijacked my stream, and I got it back an hour and a half later, and it wasn't the same. It had been through things.
I jumped onto Cecil's because he was doing an open stream thing, and but yeah, that one rocked. Prior to that, it was Narwhal. I think I had a $68 night, but which was awesome. But this has now surpassed it, which is awesome. And but yeah, I appreciate. The other thing I really appreciate is every show I've gone on, because that's really the only way to really get your book promoted if you don't have a name like I don't.
Yeah.
It's been just so helpful, and thank you, Shae, for having me on again.
Absolutely. This has already been super fun. I love seeing the passion that both of you have for this project. It makes it so much more entertaining for the rest of us. And I mean, honestly, this is probably the first time that I think that we've ever had people who have backed during the stream and literally had the entire stream stop for everyone to celebrate. Woo! We're like, yay, wow, that's amazing. Usually it's like, oh, thank you so much. And then we just keep rolling. So this has
been an $83 night so far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think my math is right on that.
Yay, numbers.
Yeah, I just know that you've gotten 5 backers.
Yeah,
tonight.
Well, no, I've gotten 5.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to pose it to the chat. Do any of you guys have any questions that you would like to pose to either Doc Hog or Leanore? Because both of them are here, so you can get a colorist perspective, you can get a writer's perspective and creator's perspective. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I had questions and then I got all sidetracked with the happiness and I forgot what they were. Thank you, Jobu's Rum, for backing.
Yay!
So appreciative.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You guys are awesome. Yep, you're at 94 backers now. Good heavens.
I think I have 6 backers, and
this has been amazing so far.
Wow.
So I guess my question is, how many books are you wanting this to be?
At least 6. The first story arc is going to be, the reason the mobsters murdered. I'll explain the kind of the backstory why the mobsters murdered her dad. Her dad was an adrenaline junkie, professional card player. Loved playing with mobsters because of the adrenaline rush. But over time, they're playing, and he liked mobsters because they were easy marks. They're bad card players. So,
yeah.
But what would they do when they get together to play cards? They drink. And what do they do when they drink? Their lips get a little loose. And he starts hearing things, and his conscience starts bothering him. So he starts informing to the police. But someone within the police squeals to the mobsters, and that's why they kill him. So issue 2 is going to be offing most of the mobsters. Issue 3 is going to lead into issue 3, where they're going to try to track down who was the leak. And then what we're going to do in issue 4 is going to be another storyline. I won't say too much about that, other than there will be something akin to more supervillains that will be a match for the kings, queens, and jacks. So, it'll get, the spirit realm's going to intervene more. So that's where and that will be at least another 3 or 4 issue storyline. So
are they are they going to start fighting tarot cards? Because that would be an interesting.
No, I haven't thought of that.
I see Leanore's like,
go there, but maybe down the line. That is an idea which I am going to steal.
Yep, you give it freely, sir. Enjoy.
I like that a lot. That is really.
I have 4 decks we can use for inspo.
She's like, I got you covered.
I could have my own special tarot deck printed in addition to the red. Yeah, damn, I hadn't thought of that. That's a good one. I could do something with that. I could really do something with that.
You absolutely could. And there's a lot that you could do with this particular kind of, I'm gonna say gimmick, but it's not a gimmick. But this particular like way that you've gone with your storytelling, the fact that you've got a deck of cards that comes to life and things happen, and they're tied to the spirit realm. You want to start really getting into it. There are a lot of deck of cards that you can start going through that have a lot of different things. You could start looking at, some of the Magic the Gathering type. You could
do a pinochle deck too, which is a different type of. If you ever played pinochle, it's very weird, but it can be a lot of fun. But it's a very different game. Yeah, I've gotten 7 new backers on your show. That is
fantastic. So we did get a question from Fade Salvation. He wants to know, does this take inspiration from Doctor Strange and or Dr. Fate?
Not really, because I was never a big into either of those comics. So it did not take an inspiration from that. In fact, it's not. I'm trying to think what it really. I don't really know if it's taken inspiration from anything. It's just taken inspiration from a lot of comics that I've just read over the years and kind of absorb. It's not any particular one comic. It was, I actually had a comic book that I was a script that I was working on before this one that did actually take some inspiration from the X-Men. And at some point, I'm probably going to go back to that. But for my first project, I think it was just too complicated. And I thought to myself, what can I do here that's more what I know? Because I was for a while trying to be a professional poker player. And emotionally, I did not have what it took. And so I said, well, what can I do with cards? And I just kept thinking about it. How could someone manipulate the cards? And then finally, I kept thinking about it. And the idea hit me one day. Wait a minute. All the characters in a deck of cards have weapons of some sort. Mm-hmm. What if they were able to come alive and use the weapons? Okay, great. What's the story I can build around that? And that's just kind of how it started. So it just took, and her recklessness and impulsiveness, that was me when I was younger. Very much so. And still totally that way today. I've mellowed out somewhat in my older age, but I turned 50 in 2 weeks. So
happy early birthday.
Thank you. It's not one I'm going to celebrate, but
oh, you should. You know what? You said 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yes.
So you're still going to be funding?
Yes, I will still.
You need a birthday celebration.
Hey, it would be awesome to hit 3,000 on that day. So
I'm just saying, let's not rule out a birthday celebration sometime about 2 weeks from now. I think that
May the 15th, which will be a Friday.
So see, what we need to do is we just need to push this out there to make sure that you're funded, and then we can get some people together and have a little birthday celebration for Doc Hog.
That would be awesome.
It would be great. It would be awesome. What a good birthday present to you, sir, is that you could have a funded comic, which would be amazing. Okay, so I can think of a couple of questions that we normally have people ask, but I think that Skits is away at the moment.
Salvations.
One of his trademark questions is, what do you think has worked well for your campaign, and what do you think wish that you could have done differently?
I probably would have done a lot more prep than I did, and worked harder to build up my YouTube channel more. But just I think more prep and more promotion pre-launch would have been good. That said, now I'm less than 10% of the way there. But I think if I'd done more promotion, I could have had at the very least probably could have had a higher goal. Some of the things are just flukes. I mean, I think I was talking to a friend of mine before Mexican beer virus.
Yes.
Maybe we should set it at 3,000. And there have been times in the campaign where I thought, God, what if I'd only set it at 2? I'd be in so much better shape now. I had moments like that, but that was just kind of a fluke. But I think that was very much the right goal. And that, it's kind of, I hate to say this, but it was probably would have been the right goal, even if this thing wasn't going on, just because it's my first time out. And, now that I'm closing in on the goal, it's like, if I would still be $1,300 away at this point, and the stress would still be, so yeah. I think that was just kind of a fluke. But the one thing I did right was about 3 weeks before I actually launched, I went through Twitter and YouTube and found every show that I could possibly go on and put them in an Excel file.
Wow.
At some point, if anybody wants to email or contact me via Twitter, it's just at Doc_Hog. I will be happy to share that information with you. People have been really nice, and I've gotten on most of the shows. And whenever someone just comes up, the other thing I would advise is go on every show you can go on. Don't ever look at somebody's YouTube channel and say, oh, they've only got 30 subscribers. Why would I waste my time? Because you don't know. All right. I had a guy on who I was interacting on Twitter, and I took a look. He had a YouTube show, and he was saying, are you going on enough YouTube shows? So I see he's got a YouTube show. Again, it's only like 60 subscribers, but I immediately said, yeah, I'm going on a lot. When can I go on yours? It's like, and what's he going to say at that point? Because he's now, trying to. And so he said yes, and I went on the next day, and he had a 2-hour show for me. I didn't think I'd get any backers, but I got like 1 or 2 off of him. And then I've been on the show that I was on. I won't say who it is because I don't want to hurt anyone here, but had thousands of subscribers. And I thought I was thrilled when I got on his show. And I thought, man, that's going to give me another 5 to 10% on my campaign. Didn't get a single backer. Didn't get a single backer. And it happens, it happens for a reason. You just don't know. I mean, some of the shows I thought I'd never get a backer. I got 1 or 2. And, when you're doing this campaign, every single time you get a backer, it's like, I'm a little. So I just say, don't pass up any opportunities when they're there,
Well, and I think that's really good advice, because every show you go on, and every time you're on a different, at a different time, on a different day, on a different channel, like this channel brings about very specific audience, usually like people who are interested in knowing more about a campaign, who are interested in getting more in depth, or if they have questions specifically for a creative team. That is normally what people are coming to Red Valkyrie for, because that's exactly what we do. People that are looking to see between 4, 5, 6 different campaigns, we don't do that. So those people aren't coming here. We have a very specific group of people who tend to come here. But who comes to my show versus who goes to Malin's versus who goes to Red Gaze or Adam AF or whoever else? Yeah. They're all different, and they all found us in different ways. And some of them, there's a little bit of cross-pollination, but other times there's none at all. And so limiting who you go on is really just limiting your potential audience base. Not to mention,
sometimes there's cross-pollination and they won't back you on one channel, but they will back you on the other for whatever reason. Maybe they just, they like one channel more than the other. Oh, this guy's on this channel now, I'll back it. Or it may just be when they saw you on one channel, they were like, my paycheck's too light right now, or my bank account's too light. They see you again.
Well, and sometimes it depends on you. So if you see somebody and they seem like, okay, they seem like an interesting, genuine person, they seem like they're okay, but you don't really feel like you got to know them, but then you see them again on another channel and then again on another channel. It's like, okay, well, this person is obviously around. I'm getting to see more of their personality. Yeah, I'm a lot more interested in them now. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the same thing, like Leanore, this being your first project, you being able to come out and come on a lot of these shows and, show people this is what my work is, like, this is what I do, and this is kind of my personality. That might make people go, maybe I want to work with Leanore. Maybe I want to see what she could do on my project or what she could do over here. And so it's one of those things that you can't get out there if you're staying in a small little box, if you're only staying on your timeline, because the people on your timeline already know about you. That's why they're on your timeline. The only way that you can really expand out is if you start going on other channels and doing other things that are not necessarily that you would normally do.
Absolutely, and be persistent. You know, I'm the type of person I start asking more and more, and I start to feel like a pest. But I've just had to get over that because you know you got to get on the shows, and you know you just have to keep asking. The other thing is a lot of people on these shows, you know, they're creators themselves. They've been through the war, so to speak, and they've got lots of good advice. I mean the elevator pitch, Superheroes Meet the Sopranos. That was on Wanger's channel. Adam Post gave me that. And it's like, that works way better than what I had up there. I can't remember exactly who said that I needed to condense my pitch, but I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. And so you get a lot of good advice on this. And that's the other thing going into this, you know, get on Twitter, get on some of the Twitter groups, also some Facebook pages, because you know you'll interact with a lot of people who've got I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so close now is that I asked a lot of questions. I listen to people's advice. Go on Adam Post's webpage or YouTube page. He's got a lot of explanations there. Sometimes say something like that seems intimidating, like say you want to make sure you have 300 signups on your sign up page. And I'm like, it's going to take me to December to get that many. And I started when I was 75. You know, Adam gets to breathe some rarefied air. So you have to take that into consideration. But that said, he still has tons of good advice, you know. So, you know, I was just interacting with a guy the other day. He's like, no, I'm good. I got it all myself. And I'm like, that may, you know, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, that may not be the best attitude to take because there's so many moving parts when you're doing this thing. And, you know, you've got to listen to people who've done it before. They will help you avoid a lot of mistakes. You're going to make your mistakes your first time out. I'm sure you're going to make them many times down the road. But the fewer mistakes you make because you listen to other people, you take their advice, the more likely I think you're going to have success.
Absolutely. Well, and there's also a lot to be said. So I've never run a campaign. As far as like, I haven't created a book and put it out there and all that. I have, however, helped with promotion, marketing, and project management on various campaigns across CG, across indie as a whole. And on top of all of that, I'm a consumer. So I know what makes me want to buy things. And I know what makes me say there's no way in hell I'm ever going to touch that. And that's stuff that if you can find people that you trust that are going to be straight with you and say, hey, so I see what you're doing here and it's a good idea, except this isn't working.
All right.
Good night. Love you.
Yeah, why don't you come over here and say hi to
Little back. Hi, Little.
Say hi, Charlie.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
By a campfire. Were you by a campfire? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's so cute.
Shae, and this is Leanore. Say hi. Hi, Shae.
Hi, Shae.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Nora.
Nora.
Nora, so cute.
Charles, when you read Iron Man, who's the real Iron Man?
I'm Tony Stark.
That's right.
That is perfect. Okay, so Dark Gift Comics is a little bit confused on the tiers. So what I'm going to do...
I made the mistake of labeling the tiers in terms of...
Can I watch some videos?
Go ahead and watch some videos. And then come back and charm the audience again.
Yes.
I made the mistake of labeling the tiers in terms of poker hands.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just the rank of the poker hands. As the poker hands rank goes up, you get more stuff. So the basic tier is just a PDF. The next one is just one physical copy, and you have the option of either the variant cover or the standard cover. And then the next one is you get 2 physical copies, 1 standard, 1 variant cover, and then you choose those, and you'll have the options of the add-ons. The add-ons are the deck of cards and the pinup.
Absolutely.
And those are add-ons, and then the other one that's you have the option of getting drawn into the comic book, and of course you'll get the full smash of all the perks with those as well. So sorry if it's a little confusing. I'm going to do it very differently next time. But by the time I realized someone had pointed out to me it was confusing, every option was taken, and you can't. The thing is, you can't go back. Once someone buys it, you cannot go back to Indiegogo. And
would you like to know how you fix that?
Okay.
There is a way to fix it.
Oh, there is.
So what you do
is you take the tier that you were at that you need to correct, and you hide that tier. It's not going to do anything for any of the people who've already backed it. Then you recreate the tier, and you clarify it so it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you can go through, if you make a mistake in an Indiegogo tier, even after somebody has backed it, when you can't delete it, you can very simply just hide it, bring up a new one, and recreate your tier with whatever clarified or corrected.
Here's the problem with doing that is that once people start buying your stuff, you know, the reason the full house is at the top is because I've gotten 38 backers there. You want people to look at it and say, oh, people are backing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, I got 38 people. Oh, this must be a really good tier. Why don't I look into this? See, once you get rid of that and you recreate it, the dial starts back over at 0.
It does.
That's why I didn't do that. I was just too afraid to go out and do that. And you know, once the numbers started going up, so I can do that. But
I'm gonna smack my dog. Stop, please, just lay down. I can't with her. She's like green screen be damned. She's gonna expose my whole office. So what I will say, and that is a valid point, and that is, if that's something that you are concerned with, that makes perfect sense. As a backer, the only time that I really pay attention to it is if there's a limited amount of them available. Mm. So I don't pay attention to the fact that 12 people have claimed full house. I pay attention to the fact that if I wanted straight flush, there's only one available. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the only time that I really pay attention.
Well, campaign, it won't be anywhere near. I'm just going to label it as what you get. So
yeah,
I do apologize if the tiers are a little confusing. It just, but can you just talk to Leanore for a second?
Yeah, no problem.
A little something to eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this has been a very exciting night. I am super happy that we got you guys pizza. The backers that we got you. That's really, I don't know. It's exciting for me.
It is exciting. It's 9% away from being fully funded. That is super close.
It's very close. And you guys still have 18 days. So you still have plenty of time to get there. Now, that doesn't mean if you're on the fence to, drag your feet, that there's still only one tier left if you wanted to be drawn in as the bodyguard.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's pretty baller. Not to mention that one tier would do it.
Yeah, it absolutely would.
Just saying. So if you want to be everyone's hero, that one tier would be all it would take for you guys to get this thing completely funded.
Do the thing.
do the thing.
God, that is terrible.
Yeah, I'm not highlighting it. I'm ignoring that it's even there.
See, that's the difference. I would highlight that, but yeah, why you don't?
You know what? You're both gonna laugh. Fine, here you go. Terrible. How you doing, Bob?
No.
Well,
I tell you what. If anybody's really interested in that tier, since I am now only barely $250 from that amount.
Oh!
If someone did it for $250, just say so in the chat. I will go in and reduce it another $50 right now, because that will get us to 3,000. That'll get us over. I will do that right now because, you know, very generous mood, very good mood right now. Get me before my you know what puckers up tighter than a snare drum again. So,
Oh my.
Okay, so what just happened is Red Valkyrie exclusive. If you are interested in backing and being drawn in, Doc is graciously willing to take another $50 off of that tier if you do it now. So if there are any of you interested at all, in fact, I was.
If you don't want to let me know in the chat, my email is dhog70 dhog70 @gmail.com. You can email me. Let me know. I will go in and reduce the price by another $50. That'll get me funded tonight. So if any I'll go over the package here. First, you're going to get the full smash on the perks. You'll get 2 copies of the comic book, the standard cover, one the variant cover. You'll get the PDF. You will get the pinup. The pinup's going to be signed by Leanore. The comics will be signed by me, and then there's going to be the deck of cards, the 54 card poker deck. You'll get all of that, plus you will get drawn into 2 pages, at least 2 pages. You will get to kill some of the other characters, and then you will suffer a gruesome death by having a dagger thrown into your eye. Okay. That is what you would get for $250. I will drop it because you guys have been awesome here, and $250 will get me funded. So if you're interested, you can either shoot me an email or let me know in the chat here, and I will go in and drop it $250 or drop it to $250.
Okay, so let's get this perfectly understood. How long is this offer going to be available?
You know, I tell you what, I will go in and change it now, and you know, who knows exactly when I will change it back, if I will. So
okay,
let me
Go buy the thing. Do it now.
right?
Do do it now. Ah.
I am currently crafting a tweet about this because that needs to go out.
Okay. Okay, let's go back and refresh.
Sorry, this is really wonderful streaming right now.
Yeah.
Content.
Yeah,
This is what happens.
We're down to $250 now. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you were
a little pricey, I know that you know, times are tight, but I don't think you'll regret being drawn into issue 2.
You'll be immortal.
Yeah, you're not going to be in 1 or 2 panels where you know, I made sure everybody gets drawn. You know, everyone gets drawn into at least 1 page, and you know, so it's not you're not going to get skimped on the drawing.
Woo!
that is insane. Okay, so I have tweeted it out. If you are in the chat and you are following me on Twitter, please retweet that to the heavens. Let's try and get this so he hits funding tonight, and let's get it. And so somebody gets drawn into this amazing comic. That would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I just got to say, I love what's happening in the chat. Everybody is super excited about it. Steve is really excited about thee suffering a horrible death because that's the kind of person.
Only one. Once it goes, it's gone.
Oh my goodness, that is super exciting. I'm gonna be like,
there. I dropped to $50 because so many of you were so awesome in getting me to now less than $250 from fully funded. So somebody buys that.
that does it.
That gets me there, and I can say your friend Red Valkyrie Shae got me funded. All right, her program, it'll be immortal. You can say she got Tilt funded. She got it over the finish line, which would be awesome.
That would be pretty fucking epic. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, hey, Steven, I understand it. Hey, I appreciate the fact that you backed it already. I am very grateful for that. And, I understand. I
say something to you, Doc. So like I said, I'm Steven IRL.
What?
I think that you are the first person. I know I work with Steve. Steve is buddy. I think you are the first person that I've ever heard of that Steve has watched the show and then turned around and backed.
I'm honored.
I don't think it has ever happened.
I appreciate it. I really toward my close to my goal. So
I mean, Steve, dude, I'm excited. I'm really excited that Steve backed you. That makes me really, really happy. That is
maybe that's a good sign.
It is. Steve, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, oh my gosh. Does anybody have any other questions for Leanore or for Doc? Or is there anything that either one of you would like to kind of highlight or last minute pitches or anything like that? Because this has been awesome.
I can, if you haven't gotten enough of us yet, I think I'm going to be on Doc's show Monday around the same time, so definitely consider checking us out there.
We're going to be coloring, or she's going to be coloring one of
I will be coloring, and he will be asking me to talk while I color, which makes my brain do two things at once, which makes me sound super smart.
And I'm going to be
awesome.
I'm having my first Sunday morning program tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. My guest is going to be Rob Casey of Cyborg USA.
Good guy.
Cyborg will be talking a little bit about comics news and maybe just regular news. Interestingly enough, I took my son out to see the Blue Angels fly near BWI today. We got to see a little bit, and as we got close to BWI, there were just tons of people, and people seemed to be saying "F you" to social distancing, and some of them were even saying "F you" to face masks. In effect, anyways. Kind of like, I kind of think it's time that we start, because people aren't taking it. It's like they're leading, and I suspect the state governments are going to start following more and more. Because, at any rate, that's. But we'll probably discuss something like that. So, at any rate, I'm going to do that first one at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And if there are any other creators on there who want to come on, I can get 2 more of you in to our group. So just hit me up at @doc_hog, or you can email me dhog70@gmail.com. And come on board.
It sounds good. So we actually have the links for both Doc's and Leanore's Twitter are sitting in the description for the video, and I will, if both of you will send me DMs with your YouTube and or Twitch channels that you guys stream on, shoot me those and I will update the description and so people can find you there.
Steve. Just a second here.
But yes, absolutely. Please make sure you go and check out Doc Hog on Indiegogo. We are so close to funded. We are less than 250 away, which is amazing. Doc is a superstar gentleman who has decided that he is going to discount that final drawn-in tier specifically because of how great you guys have been on Red Valkyrie, which is unbelievably awesome. If you are interested in that, you need to hop on it soon because who knows when he is going to change it back to 300. He has done this specifically for you all.
That's my YouTube channel, Comics and Variety.
Perfect. I am going to update our chat or our channel description with that. Throw that in there, and then
on my channel tomorrow. I learned the other day, I think it was the New York Times said there's an estimated only 16 lesbian bars left in the country, and only 5 coronavirus. So yeah, that's major news. We're going to have to discuss what to do.
But where will I go for fish tacos, sir? Explain this to me.
Oh,
I broke Doc. Okay.
you did the thing. You did the thing, and now Doc is broken.
So, yeah, we're going to be discussing that one too. Very important, very vital.
Oh my goodness. And of course, this is the sighting it's going to air. So I will update the channel description after. But I wanted to thank everybody for coming out in the chat. You guys have been unbelievably amazing and absolutely just stellar.
$83 night, and that's wonderful. Just wonderful. It's got
that is super great
from being funded. So just awesome. So
thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you everybody who's going to watch on replay. You guys are phenomenal people, and I'm so happy that we could have you out here. Thank you so much, Doc, for coming back.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you, Leanore. It was so wonderful having you.
So much for having me. This was so much fun. I had a blast.
Yay! Oh, perfect. Do not forget to like this video, share it out, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie if you are not already. Also give both Doc and Leanore subs once that gets hit up into the channel description. And if you are interested in that final tier, you have a limited time, because who knows, that could go back up to 300. Get it now while it's 250. Save yourself a little bit of money, and really honestly put a phenomenal project just into funding territory with two great people that are involved in it, plus the artist. It's amazing. It needs to happen. And thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will check you guys next time. See you later.